Hey everybody, this is your broadcaster, Master Cloud, and it's time for some more of the Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Lord of the Rings, The Rise of the Witch King. Today's matchup, another 1 vs. 1 from the April 2015 GameReplays.org tournament, spawning in the upper left-hand side as the red player. It is going to be Akashi-San, also known as Andy. And in case I didn't say it, he is spawning as Agmar here, going for a very quick haul of the King's men. His opponent in the lower right-hand side, spawning also as Agmar, is going to be MayShadow. So we see both of these players choosing Agmar in this particular match. I would assume, as they've both gone for, or as they've both gotten Agmar, and MayShadow on the bottom right-hand side going for a little bit later of a Hall of the King's Men. So Andy, Akashi-san, will be able to actually get out a Thrall Master here very quickly and get out some units on the field. Guys, there's just a lot to talk about here, so I'm going to try and talk about it as fast as I possibly can to get it all out here before the action really gets underway. Of course, this is Game 2 in this series. If you have not watched Game 1 between these two players, definitely go check it out. Really, really interesting game between these two players. It is the one I uploaded just before this one. We actually have a wolf and troll den, a troll and wolf den going down here for MayShadow, as he's looking to get out some very early wolf riders here. Looks like these Gundabad warriors may find the builder down to the south. Of course, now this is an from the April tournament. As I said earlier, it was a 16-player tournament held at the very end of April 2015. So these replays very, very recent, with some of the best players, Andy and May both being some of those very good players. And we will have some Wolf Riders now out on the field. Does manage to get the builder, though, which is a really good pickup early on, as those builders are incredibly expensive. 500 resources to remake that builder, and he's going to be put a little far behind. Even though he's losing, or even though he's able to take out a couple of these warriors without an additional builder on the field, he's going to have a little bit of trouble getting up those additional resource structures in a timely fashion. So we'll actually have to see who goes ahead and moves forward in terms of who's leading this matchup here. Now, if you guys haven't checked out Game 1 yet, I am going to spoil what happened for you guys in that game, which is, of course, that I believe MayShadow was able to use that end rush basically towards the end of the game there to go ahead and claim the first map, or the victory in that first game between these two really titans, in terms of the scene right now of who's on top. So MayShadow is up 1-0 here. So Akashi-san's tournament life on the line. This is of course, all the matches are best 2s out of 3, and with Andy losing that first match, he now must win this one in order to remain in the tournament. There is no losers bracket. There is no do-overs, redos, anything like that. It's now or never for Akashi-san. So he definitely wants to be able to take this game if he can, but he's definitely no doubt feeling a little bit down on his luck, having lost that first game, especially after having really been in a good position a couple of times there, what it seemed like, and then really sort of lost almost all of a sudden here. So MayShadow bringing up a couple of dire wolves to the north side. We'll begin to work on one of these mills. Don't do a ton of damage. 2 structures here. They do have that advantage of a very a ton of speed, as these look to be incredibly quick out on the field here. More units moving across the front of the map here from MayShadow. We'll begin to work down Akashi-san's mill here. Is going to indeed get that. And Akashi-san here being looking to be in a little bit of trouble. More units coming in from the north now will arrive as reinforcements and begin to attack this rather large army of MayShadow, but with the extra reinforcements here from the north as well. 2 Hall of the King's Men down here for Andy should push most of these troops back, and MayShadow is going to have to retreat for now, unless he wants to lose all these units. Might get an additional mill, which may in fact be worth it, as he has been no doubt building up a couple of mills on his side of the map, although remember, he does only have that one builder, so he is quite limited as to how fast he can expand here. A couple of the Wolf Riders will make it out. The remainder of the troops of MayShadow, though, will indeed fall here. And this matchup is once again shaping up to be a very close match between these two players. Something we don't see Andy doing quite as much in this one. Actually, he has already gone for one of the war glares. Actually has gone for this one as well. So Akashi-san here, very focused. I just realized on taking out those war glares early on, and which is something that MayShadow has not done. And here comes a huge attack across the river from Akashi-san. All of these Gundabad warriors, couple of axe throwers. Sort of scattered in there as well. A group of pikemen, why not, to prevent any sort of charge through. And MayShadow going to be in a lot of trouble here, as I'm not sure what he's been saving up for. I guess it was an additional building. It was an additional, a couple additional levels on top of this Hall of the King's Men. So it is up to level 3 now, but he perhaps waited a little too long there to start building additional units, and now is in quite a bit of trouble, as he is going to be losing. He's going to lose that Thrallmaster as well before he gets the summon down, so that's 200 resources down the drain, and he's going to lose potentially this Hall of the King's Men, which he just upgraded to level 3. Andy coming back in a huge fashion here. A couple of units around the backside. They're quite easily going to get cleaned up. A group of Wolf Riders now moving in as well. The Dark Rangers are killed instantly as soon as they leave the Hall of the King's Men. There are a group of Rudar Axe Throwers from the backside. There goes down the Whirlwind, as well as that Building Freeze, also known as Snowbind. I can never remember the name of that spell, but it is going to, looks like, temporarily save this Hall of the King's Men, which would be a really critical, crucial loss if MayShadow were to go ahead and lose that. Luckily, able to save it there at the last minute. Andy now moving on the lower side as well as the upper side will clean up one of MayShadow Workslers. That's going to be additional income for Akashi-san, who's already sitting in pretty good shape. He has plenty of mills around the field. A couple of those direwolves not able to do the damage that they really needed to the economy here of our red Agmar player. And now a couple units of MayShadow pushing forward. I think this is a little bit of a mistake. He's quite far out of position, though. He needs to be back really defending his base at this point. But he wants to go on the offensive. He wants to put the pressure on. But there's so many troops here for Akashi-san that I'm not sure it's going to be sufficient. Yes, he's going to be able to take out a mine, but once again, he's being attacked back at home from the south, and a huge group moving in from the north as well. Looks like the Cave Troll lair still stands here, but it doesn't want to necessarily go for that right now. Is going to be more likely focused on the buildings. Might get this builder, does manage to sneak through there quite quickly, as those troops did not notice it, I guess. And these troops can immediately begin working on this mill as soon as Akashi-san orders them to do so. Meanwhile, a group of Wolf Riders going to be running through the north here are going to get the majority of those Dark Rangers, will run into the pikemen and lose a couple of those Wolf Riders, almost all of them. But I think that's a fair trade for all of those Dark Rangers. -1, it looks like, survived up in the very top here, which is not going to be doing basically any damage. Akashi-san now taking charge of his troops to the north side of MayShadow's base here, taking out that mill, pincering in from both sides. A couple units left on the bottom side as well. MayShadow desperately trying to get out additional troops, but he's just lost too much. He doesn't have the income. He doesn't have the structures, the production facilities in order to get out the units that he really needs right now. And I'm betting, yeah, he's sitting at 111 resources. Akashi-san all the way up at almost 1,000 at this point. Could be going for a hero even if you wanted to at this point. Waldir might be a nice choice right now with so many of his own Thrallmasters out in the field. Couple wolves dire wolves as well as the Wolf Riders now out in the field for MayShadow. It's basically what he could scrape together from whatever he had left lying around, sort of under the couch cushions. This is pretty much the only unit he's been able to pump out at this point. And that is going to actually get attacked from behind here, going to lose a majority of those Wolf Riders. The Thrallmaster goes down, and with it, the unit disbands. So he's going to lose that. An additional mill falling for him as well. A group of direwolves will be able to take out a single farm here of Akashi-san, but it's just not going to be enough as Andy continues to push forward on basically all fronts. It looks like a single unit along the bottom side for MayShadow still. Might be able to pick off a couple of mills, although Akashi-san could redivert these forces to engage that should he choose to, and it looks like, yeah, he will. Doesn't want any stray units running around the map, but right now Akashi-san has the lead, I feel like, not only in terms of army, but in terms of structures out on the field, in terms of that income per minute. Let's see if he's actually going into siege equipment here. Does have the wolf and troll den. Don't see any sort of siege yet out on the field in terms of potentially going for that killing blow. He might have enough actual troops. And actually, this is what he's going to use in terms of his siege. Going for that cave troll lair instead, taking that over with that 10 power. The Untamed Allegiance power does allow you to take over a lair that is on the map. In this case, he has chosen the cave troll lair. I think a very smart choice, as he needs basically siege equipment, and these cave trolls can basically be just that. And at this point, MayShadow is trapped in the very back of his base. The only thing he has really going for him is this level 3 Hall of the King's Men, but unfortunately that's about to go down if this cave troll switches to stones, which it just has a couple of stone throws, and this building will indeed fall. If he has the snowblind ability, he's going to want to use it. However, of course, that prevents the structure from producing, and he's just cast it on the front top as well, so these rangers wouldn't even have, or actually these are Black Numenorians he has on the way. A couple of wolves going to attempt to take down the cave troll, but it's just not going to be enough. I think the building here very easily going to go down. He's going to lose the mill on the top as well. The level 3 Hall of the King's Men does in fact fall. The Black Numenorians out on the field, but how much can they really do? What can men do in the face of such evil? And in fact, it's not really men, but nevertheless, what can Angmar do in the face of such other Angmar? I suppose might be a more accurate saying. However, I of course was trying to quote Theoden from the movie there. I believe it is the Two Towers that he uses, something like that line. The cave troll will go down, but an additional one has already been built by Akashi-San. That is moving in. An additional structure here going down, a mill desperately being placed. MayShadow hurting for resources, but he's going to lose it. And it looks like indeed this game is in fact going to go to Andy, and that is going to even up this match. It is now 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed this cast. Definitely stay tuned for additional content. More will be produced very soon. I want to get a ton of these games out for this tournament, especially because there's been so many high-level players that participate in this tournament. So we will be seeing some games definitely from one of the tournament favorites, Megram, as well as another tournament favorite, Lazarus, who is very active in the community, producing maps, playing games constantly. So both of those players are going to be very good. Definitely some matches coming up with them involved. We will have to also see how some of the other players we casted early in the tournament, Excalibur, Ice Vice, ended up doing as well. Who makes it to the finals? Who goes ahead and takes that grand prize of, well, I don't think there's actually any money involved, but takes the title of the grand prize home. I believe there is actually some sort of point ranking system that they do use. So first place will in fact receive some sort of non-monetary award. But nevertheless, who really plays this game for the money? It's all about the fun. It's all about the title, the honor, you know, the whatever it is that these players play for. They definitely want it. So hopefully they do. In fact, we'll actually have to see who wants it the most, though, in order to see actually these cave trolls fighting each other. That's kind of funny. But as this game winds down here to an end, guys, looks like the last couple of buildings of MayShadow now falling to these dual cave trolls. A couple more units moving in here for Akashi-San. And I guess MayShadow is basically just sitting back at this point, thinking about, okay, what happened in this game? What can I do next game to prevent that from happening? As it is going to be a game point next game. So, of course, both players going to be playing for their tournament lives, going to make it incredibly exciting. And I'm basically going to go into casting it, I would say, almost immediately once I'm finished with this cast. Looks like the Snowbind spell does in fact go down on MayShadow's Fortress. Once again, he's either taunting his opponent or taking a moment before his next game to think about his strategy. And there we go. He does in fact GG out. So thank you guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed this cast. Definitely stick around. More content to come. Like, subscribe, and comment. All of these very helpful to my channel and very helpful to the Lord of the Rings community, guys. Once again, thanks for tuning in. MasterCloud signing out.